is it about when Tottenham play Wolves? It is never a normal fixture. As it ends, Tottenham 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. And I'll be honest, that result, that 1-1 final score, does not tell the whole picture. We were very, very lucky to get out of N17 with a point there. Wolves fans, Wolves players, Wolves management team, everyone involved with Wolverhampton Wanderers and even our rivals will be absolutely fuming that we have somehow got a point there. It was very much undeserved, but somehow we've got a point. Wolves have just got such an unbelievable record against us. I think they're now 6 games unbeaten in the Premier League, home and away at Molineux and Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And even before that, I think they had a good record against us. So, wow. I mean, Wolves were absolutely outstanding. Tottenham were very, very poor. I think Thomas Frank and the players got a few things wrong today, and it came down to our hero Joao Palhina to get a result. I am absolutely flustered, and luckily after that game I've got a 2-week holiday. I'm actually buzzing that I didn't have the the game was meant to be tomorrow when I'm actually heading on the holiday. Maybe I would have preferred if I didn't watch it, but I've watched it. I'm doing a reaction video, so here we are. But before we go any further, if you are new to the Sonny Talk Spurs YouTube channel, then get down below, drop us a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, let me know in the comments down below what did you make of the game, and definitely subscribe. As I say, I'm going on a 2-week holiday, won't be doing the normal upload content, but I will try and react to the Bodo Glimt game the day after. Same with Leeds on the day after. We will see. Stay tuned though and subscribe to get to that sort of content. But let's look at the stats, because I'll tell you what, I haven't seen them yet, but I can't imagine they're pretty reading. I mean, pretty much even. Maybe a draw was deserved. Shots 10-9 for us and Wolves. 3 on target for us, 3 on target for Wolves, and we had 52% possession. And I'll be honest, and I went to the Bournemouth game, it felt very much like that Bournemouth game. Wolves came with a game plan. They started with a back 4, they moved to a back 5. They were time wasting a bit. They were pressing us. I thought they were fantastic. Their midfield overrode us, and their defence was solid all up until the last moments. But I'm just in shock because we did not deserve that. I feel like in the first half, we edged it, I would say. Yeah, Mohamed Kudus looking like the stronger of the players on the pitch, creating a lot of good chances, came close a couple of times as well. And it was, they said a stat on Sky Sports' coverage that I think 20% or so of our attacks in the first half came on Kudus' side, and they were better, they were clearer. Whereas on the left-hand side, where Xavi Simons was, it seemed like a lot of attacks were going through there, but we're not really, resulting in anything. I think Xavi Simons had a really, really tricky game. I'm very unsure as to the team setup. I don't think we should have gone for Palhinha and Bentancur. It should have been one or the other. Bergvall, I think, is fine in there. Sarr's on the bench. But I think after Xavi Simons' exploits in the 10 against Brighton the week before when he came on and made a difference, and even, during the week against Doncaster, why is he not starting there? That's where I'm a bit unsure, because I feel like I would rather have had a direct winger going at, say, like a Matt Doherty in that first half. But as the second half went on, Wolves grew very, very strong, and they were fantastic and deserved going 1-0 up. The corner that we concede is absolutely crazy. Poor defending. Considering that our set pieces have improved both attacking and defensive wise, the players just stopped. Vicaro makes a save into Joao Palhina, and then Bueno is there to tap it in. It was poor. It was very, very poor. And after that, we didn't look like creating a lot. We did not look like creating a lot at all. And, I was preparing for this video to go on a bit of a rant saying why I think Thomas Frank got it wrong. I think the team selection was bad. I think, it was a lot like, as I say, that Bournemouth game where it wasn't clicking. It was very frustrating, especially at home. Our home form, they said it on the coverage as well. We've won 4 home games since November last year. So November 2024. We're now in September 2025, or heading into October 2025. That's not good enough. Our home form is absolutely terrible. I'm not sure why that is. I mean, if you're a match-going fan, let me know. I mean, I've been there, and the atmosphere can, it does go up and down. We have high expectations as Spurs fans. But I don't know. It's one that I really can't put my finger on. But as I say, Joao Palhina. I want to talk about Joao Palhina, because that's now 2 goals in a week. For him, a bicycle kick against Doncaster. And this finish is something special, really, really special. It's an absolute, you know, wand of a curler that goes in that bottom, I think the keeper's left-hand corner, the bottom right-hand corner, for Palhinha's point of view. And he takes his shaft, celebrates, and I just wish we would have gone on and if we got a winner, it would have been properly undeserved. But we were lucky. We were very, very lucky. I can't argue with that. But I just think, Wolves had that game plan down to a T. And I think what's frustrating is this is not a good Wolves team. They've been awful all season. That's their first point. I mean, it was giving me as well. Remember last year against Crystal Palace, they hadn't won a game. And they faced us and they beat us. I think it was 2-1, 2-0. I can't remember. Maybe 1-0. And yeah, it was a very poor display. Gave me that sort of feeling. But there's still a lot to work on with Spurs. I think our defence is good. It is watertight. I know we conceded in that fashion, but Fikayo before that wasn't really tested. The centre backs, dealt with a lot. Spence and Adogi were good. The midfielder's good. It's just when it comes to our attack. Now, Richarlison, again, very, very quiet, quite poor. I think he needs a bit of competition. Hopefully, Randall Kolo-Muani and Dominic Solanke's injuries mean they're back soon, because I think Richarlison, he's a bit hit and miss. And we knew that, but he's a good option to have. Maybe not your starting striker in a 38 Premier League game season. Kudos, I think, it's good. There's a lot of coming through him, but it's a lot one-sided. Then you've got maybe like Xavi Simons, as I say, needs to be playing in the 10. And, on the other side, we need to obviously see more from Brendan Johnson, Tell, or the Bear. They're not really giving Frank much of a, come pick me plea. Obviously, I don't see training sessions. I don't know what happens, but it almost looks like, I've said how good our attack is on paper. I think they're fantastic. But at the moment, it's almost like the passing. It's the passing, it's the creativity, it's the decision making. So a lot of that sort of stuff where it's like the wrong choices are being made. Like we're whipping crosses in, without much thought process going into it. Really hard to break down a team that are sitting back, like Bournemouth, like Wolves. So that is where it's going to happen a lot in the Premier League, because all these teams sit deep now. They all use the dark arts, the set pieces, counter-attack occasionally. So you need to, keep your wits about you and, make the most of these, when you get opportunities. So, yeah, it's one of those. It's a frustrating. I mean, I should be jubilant in a way, because we were lucky. We did not deserve like a jot from that game. Lucky, so lucky to come away with a point. And if it would have been 3, that would have been crazy. But I mean, I was saying about the chances. We did have chances in that first half. I'm not saying like we're, but it is almost like it does become a bit predictable in senses. I think, we know when we're gonna like Wolves were just happy to push us out wide, just keep pushing us out wide, and they'll deal with us all day. Especially when they went to a back 3, just head it away, and jobs are good. But yeah, it's one of those ones where Frank has got to go now and take this to the drawing board and sort of reassess, because again, we're a hard team to break down. It's just those attacking phases where it's like, right, we need to now, make the most of our chances. As I say, with the stats, 10 shots free on target, you've got to be more potent. Underhand, we were creating like 22 chances, maybe getting like 5 on target. So it's similar, but it's like when you have that chance, you've got to finish it. For example, the Kudos disallowed goal for offside. You've got to keep in line there. You've got to keep in line. And, this communication, I know there's new players in the team, but Xavi Simons' link-up's got to be better. It's all these little things, which I don't think it's not too much of a negative, but you can see where there's those tweaks that have to happen in game to maybe think, right, this is how we're going to see it. Because and maybe it does come from midfield. When you're playing a Palhinha, Bentancur, Bergvall, is there anyone who's going to bomb on? I mean, if you're playing Palhinha and Bentancur, I expect it to be Liverpool, Arsenal, City, etc. Not Wolves at home. Sar's been injured, so maybe that's maybe I'd like to see Sar, Palhinha, Bergvall, or Sar, Palhinha, and Xavi Simons in the 10. Maybe that's where I think it would happen. But that's my thoughts on it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And as I say, I'm going on a 2-week holiday. So, I might do some reactions. I'll see what I can do because, signal and Wi-Fi and whatnot. So, but stay tuned, subscribe, like the video, hit the notification bell because it will let you know when I've gone live in instances, get me words out, such as this. But until then, up the Spurs. I'll see you again soon. Bye.